So a Curbrash fucking first, we're gonna talk about something that's actually current and not just opinions that we have. I know that's really different, but if you're in the Toronto area, you know that there's been a big media circus about our only major toll road is allegedly free during rush hour. And if you go on the 407, which is the toll road, if you go on their website, there's a big thing plastered across it that says it's not fucking free. So what it is, and what it really, I just have this crazy theory that like basically they leaked this information. They have an offer where if you already have an account with them, then you can be invited to have like free rush hour travel for being a loyal customer. And they're doing like a weird credit system. You gotta love when companies do this, where it's like, oh, you pay it, and then later you'll get credits. So go ahead and do $300 $400 of travel on our highway, and then in a month we'll give you credits. But then the news outlets pick this up and they go, it's free. Now I want to say I live right near one of the major entrances to the 407. The amount of shit cars that I have seen getting on that highway, and if for some reason we have an international viewer, those tolls are crazy expensive. For me to get to my office, it's $30 one way. So the amount of crap cars, there are some crap cars that get on because people like Aaron drive shit boxes and get on the 407, which is totally fine. Hi, Aaron. But the amount of like, I saw a Pontiac Sunfire getting on the 407. There's no world where this guy is going to be able to pay those tolls. There's no fucking world. So my harebrained scheme theory is that the 407 leaks this idea, and then a bunch of people are going to get sent to collections.
So how did you
But
find this out? Just by reading the fine print?
okay, so I have an account. I have a transponder. So like I have for Americans, it's like an easy pass. So what I saw it on Red Flag Deals. They said you might have this offer in your account. I checked my email. It wasn't there. I checked my actual account. It goes, hey, if you like, you can register for this thing and you can have free rush hour travel. And I did. I absolutely did read the fine print. You need to be invited, and then you need to do like $30 of travel, and then the rest is air quote like credited. But I think it literally says like on your next month's bill.
Oh, it's credited.
Mm-hmm. So
Whoa, because I got this offer too. I thought it was you travel $30 worth and everything else is free. I didn't know it was a credit. Oh,
it reads as though it is a credit you're gonna receive like in the following like statement. If you actually read, I read through all of it because I was like, I don't trust these fucks. Like I've heard
I think
horror
that's pretty
stories.
fucked.
It's not.
No,
It doesn't. It's not even necessarily free from the sounds of it. You have to be invited to the program that allows it to be free.
yes,
Yeah, and just the
that is
fact
the
it's a
program.
credit, like you're still gonna have to pay off your like $300 407 bill this month in order to
Well, it
get it
runs
for
for
free
three
the
months.
next.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna travel twice and just enjoy it, right? Drive a crazy speed because it's literally like a highway for like rich people and those who can afford it once in a while.
The
And then
um,
just see what happens. Because I can afford like 2 trips. I can't afford like 30 trips times $30 each way. So the thing is though, I have gotten like, I don't know if you've ever gotten this, but I've literally gotten bills from the 407 before I had an account where they're like, yeah, you traveled on the highway, and I looked at the time and it was like I was at work, like parked. I never had traveled on the highway before. It was like fucking poison. I was like, get away. Like it was like the sun to a fucking vampire. The idea of spending that kind of money. So I never did it, and they will literally lie. My dad used to manage an account for like a major company for the 407 because of the amount of times they had to like talk to support to be like, these charges are bullshit. One time a car got on for one stop. They charged them from one end of the 407 to the other end. It was $185 charge for that car because the cameras
Wow.
don't pick up everything. They say they do, but they don't.
How much
So
did you spend on 407 last year? Do you know?
last year total,
Yeah.
uh, not off the top of my head, I'll say it was never more than $60 a month for me personally.
$60 a month?
Yeah, that's the most it was, and there were some months that it was like 20 or $30.
Oh,
it's like one 407 trip a month.
Yeah, I
dude.
mean, I don't go crazy.
I I remember when I worked at the dealership, occasionally they would send me to do like the licensing runs for like everybody getting new cars to get their like ownerships and shit. And part of that was like before you get your plates and ownership, they would check to see if you had any outstanding fines, and depending on how much the fines were. Either like, the dealer would pay it, and then you just pay when you go back to the dealer, or they'd be like, no, we can't give you these plates. There's too many fines. I remember there were lots of people with outstanding 407 fines, but I remember the most I'd ever seen in my 4 and some odd years of working at the dealership was, I think, just a hair under $24,000
No
in
fucking
outstanding
way.
407 fines. Yeah,
$24,000.
yeah.
How? Did they just think it's
And
free?
this person was buying, I think at the time it was like a Venza. So
That's,
like 65 to 70% of their car's value in 407 fines.
how's that possible?
That's
'Cause I
fucked.
don't
Can you
know.
get loan forgiveness for that shit?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
Like, you're
Dude,
fucked if
they'll
you got that much.
they tried to chase. I remember specifically there was one account that my dad managed where they tried to chase them for 3 cents, like to send that to collections. They were making threats. These people don't fuck around. How did they get away with $24,000?
I don't know. All I remember is the person at the dealer desk was like, "Not this person's not getting their plates. They got to pay it off."
That's
There's no
fucking
shot.
Crazy.
I would flee the country at $24,000 of unpaid 407. I would flee the
You're
country.
fucked. Like, you can't even, you probably can't renew your license or anything.
No,
No,
you
you
can't.
can't.
That's with you.
You have to
Yeah.
pay the fines before you can renew things.
You might as well just start Ubering everywhere. You
So
might
in
as
the
well.
span of like 5 years, this guy racked up $24,000 in 407 fees.
Yeah,
Because you need to renew your license, what, like every 5 years usually?
yeah. Every
I think
5
it's
years
every
on your
5
birthday.
years.
Yeah. That's crazy. Somebody do the math on like how much traveling that is.
Well, it's
Well,
like
365 days times. Well, let's.
Like, how many
I don't know
hours a
how.
day?
I don't know how long it took them to accrue the fees. So let's just say 5 years.
yeah,
What's
Well,
that's what
$4,800 a
ish
year.
days. Yeah,
Yeah.
1825. So what do we got? 24,000 divided by 1825.
It's about $400 a month in 407 bills.
$13 a day.
So it's like probably one or
For-
two trips a
That's
day.
terrible. This guy just didn't give a fuck.
Well,
That's
the
like
the base charge is like $4. So like, yeah, like it's one trip a day or one or like two short trips a day, and they just
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
even. Them they must have just not even. This is not an excuse. It's just that they must have not even realized that you pay for this shit. Like some people are that fucking stupid. Like
maybe their mail address was separate from where they live. They just didn't know. They just thought
I
it
have
was
no
free.
fucking idea.
maybe, but
Yeah, I
like
was like normally you'd see like, oh, this person's got like, $500 or $700 outstanding, or if they're really bad, it's like $1,500. 24 grand came along, and I was like, fuck.
That
Yeah,
is
that's-
fucked.
that's a car. Like that's
That
a
is
brand new
that's
Corolla.
like you could literally pay cash for a Corolla at that time.
That's craziness, man.
Hopefully they've saved up that amount somewhere from
Zero
not paying
shot. Are you kidding me?
407.
If you don't know the 407 is a toll road, you don't know how to put money in a savings account. That's 100%. Zero
Oh, yeah,
shot,
that's
bro.
facts.
On the flip side of that, if you want to drive on the 407 for free, you can just take the plates off your neighbor's car, put them on yours, do your trip, and then put the plates back when you get home.
You could. Have you seen that company years ago that it was like a trucking company that got in trouble for having license plate flippers on their trucks and they would send them on the 407? It was like I think they dodged
Oh,
like
they literally watch for like if you get on the 407 now and like you don't have a plate and the camera detects that, it literally just immediately calls the OPP,
I think
No
it was
way.
and
like,
Really?
they'll send a cruiser out to look for you.
I mean, I could see it.
Whoa.
But if you get a license plate flipper and you have a fake plate on the back, like that's what that company was doing, and I think they dodged $3 million of tolls. Like,
I mean,
And-
respect. They probably made more than 3 million in profit doing
well,
it.
not after they were caught and prosecuted, probably. I mean, yeah, like I don't know. The thing is, right? We're used to this shit, but that's like it is obscene the amount of money we spend on tolls. Like it's genuinely crazy. Like the 407
It
is a
the,
nightmare.
the 407 for me is like I have to be going somewhere very specific to use it, or
Yeah.
traffic on the 403 has to be just fucked, and then I'll
I-
think about it.
Yeah, I will say, like, one time the traffic on the 403 was fucked. I was coming from Hamilton. I needed to get to my sister's, like, graduation party. and it was like the GPS said 2 hours, what would normally be a 45-minute drive. So I was like, and I was already going to be late. So I was like, well, the 407 starts here, and guess who's driving the whole way? And it cost me $30, and I made it there in 36 minutes because you can just drive whatever speed you want on the 407. You really can. It's just a tax on it. You could just pay the. They don't pull you over for shit. Like, you have to be going like impound speed to get pulled over on the 407. You really do, because they know someone else better is coming along. If you hit 130, like they're like, fuck it, next guy's gonna be 150, easy.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
if you're in the outside lane on the 407, you're easily doing 150, 160. And if
I've-
you're not, the person behind you is trying to.
Yeah, no, they
Bro, I
they
passed
are.
a cop on the 407 doing 140 in the slow lane. Nothing.
No, they're
Not
waiting
happening
for an
yet.
impound.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, for those who don't know, 150 in Ontario is impound, 100 being the speed limit. So at
Well,
least on highways.
it's not 100, it's 50 over
Yeah.
technically, or 40 over if the speed limit's below 80.
No,
I
but I'm
think
fairly
is-
certain if it's 110, 150 is still impound.
Is
We'll
it?
have to check on that. I just remember being like,
I'll
oh,
have
so it's 160, but no, it's still 150, I think, for impound.
I just don't do 150 on the roads where the police usually are.
First,
No,
you guys
neither would
drive
I.
fast on the toll roads. I like to chill in the right lane. You know,
What
I'm
do you
paying
mean?
for it. I just want to relax. I don't want to do shit.
Oh, bro, I'm fucking flooring it.
That's the whole point. You just fucking go. You know how
No,
you know how
just
much of a
chill.
fucking erection I get watching the traffic on the 427, and I'm like, oh, today I don't have
Bro,
to be with you, pores.
It's like, you know what? It's probably different because like me and Anthony are used to commuting on like the 403, where like if you're on the 403 at any time around rush hour, if you're lucky, you'll hit like 70 or 80,
Yeah, that's if you're lucky. Sometimes it's
and you're
standstill.
usually crawling along at like 20 to 40.
Yeah.
So like for us, getting on the 407 is like, we can fucking open it right up.
Dude, if you get on the
Dude, I
407,
took that shit
oh,
every day just to
Yeah.
save 15 minutes a day.
it-
$6.
$6 for
A day.
15 minutes? Oh,
$6 a day for 15 minutes.
it's not bad.
It added up,
That-
man. It's fucking $2,000 last year. My car is
Oh.
worth $2,000.
That's true. Your car is worth $2,000. But
You know, do that. Yeah.
But now if you get a BMW, like a 540 or a 540, then you can justify it. It's worth it now.
yeah, 100%. See, that's the thing
If
too.
only I
You can
realized that
avoid the
last year.
crazies. Like, do you I know how many people I get to, like, I will, because I have to drive a little bit before I get on the 407, and I see the quality of individual that I'm surrounded by on the like non-toll road, and I'm like, I need to get away from these fucking people. Which
Yeah, that's
that's so
very
we
true.
wanted to talk
It's-
about this.
It's true.
It's a mental thing, you know.
What's a mental thing? It's taking a toll on my mental for sure, but I don't know how much of a mental
No,
thing.
no, no.
it is.
Taking a toll road is beneficial for your mental.
Oh, it's good for your mental health.
is.
You're right.
Yes.
The best thing ever, and I want to talk about, because last week we wanted to talk about fucking road rage, but I just want to say this: if you are capable and you own a company or are a contractor, just being able to write off the 407 as a business expense is probably like, you can write off your car entire lease already. You can get like an Audi like fucking S7 and just write it off. But then on top of that, writing off the 407, oh, brother, I couldn't even imagine. Fucking beautiful.
I miss it. I'm gonna.
Maybe we should incorporate Curbrash, and we'll just start
Just
writing
start-
off our 407.
Ooh.
I think we need to make money first. That's
How are you gonna
if
write off
Curbrash-
$0?
Negative
Ooh, you know
equity.
what? Negative equity. Yeah,
Yeah,
We'll just
that's good.
we'll
You get
just-
you
we'll
get
start
you get
selling
taxed
t-shirts.
less
I'm sure somebody
for
will buy
losing
them.
money.
we'll sell shitty merch. Yeah, for sure. If this goes nowhere, but us being able to write off toll roads, I'd take it. I'd take it in a heartbeat. But fucking crazy people. Hold on, let's talk about this. So we wanted to talk about road rage last week. There's a few kinds of people, but I just want to start with: do you guys have any insane, whoa, totally epic road rage stories that we can turn into a Instagram reel later?
I mean, I guess I can talk about the two that I
please.
have. I wouldn't say they're super insane, but they're a little bit insane. Both of them were in the BRZ.
Mhm.
The first one, I was driving. I was in the city. I forgot exactly where I was going at the time. I think I was going to my girlfriend's apartment.
The
This was
city
a
of
long
Where?
time ago.
Hamilton.
Like back closer to when we met, yeah. And I was she was actually in the car with me. We were like going home for the night. and so I was driving, I was behind somebody, and it's a 2-lane road, no center turning lane or anything like that. Just sort of a residential street. So we were driving down it, and I was behind somebody in the left lane, and they started slowing down. And I was a little bit annoyed, but I was like, fuck it, I need to get to the end of this road anyway, so I'll stay in this lane for now. And eventually they came to like basically a complete stop. So I just went around them on the right, and I kind of powered out of it because we were only doing like we were basically stopped. So I just took off. And apparently they wanted to turn right because I saw them start to turn sort of in my mirror just as I was passing them. And they didn't like that very much.
Of course
I
not.
do want to add no turn signals.
Right. What were they driving?
Oh fuck! What were they driving?
So we can be callous about
Let's
it.
just imagine Nissan Altima.
It has to be Nissan Altima.
No, it wasn't an Altima.
Kia Soul.
It was a van of some sort.
Oh, even better. Dodge Grand
I
Caravan.
I don't think it was a Caravan or a Pacifica. It may have been whatever that fucking Kia van.
Oh, the
they used to
Carnival.
have.
Carnival?
It might have been a Carnival.
The-
It might have been a Kia Carnival.
that tracks.
Carnival's a bit newer though. Maybe it's the I don't know, what's their other van?
Oh, I don't
Did
know.
they have another van? I know they have the Soul, which is like a weird in between. And then they had
No. It wasn't a Soul. It was definitely a van. It was.
the Kia. You sure?
Yeah, it was a Carnival. It was the 3rd-gen Carnival.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
So it was like mid 2010s Carnival.
Love it.
I didn't know the Carnival was around that long. But yeah,
Yeah,
continue.
be shocked.
again, like I think it was a Carnival. Anyways, or was it called the Sedona at that time?
Oh, yeah, you're right. They did have one called the Sedona at the time.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That might be it. Anyways, so I passed them. They immediately got very angry and laid on their horn and started following me. So
Love
I
it.
was like, fuck it. I kept going. I went to the end. I turned right. And they were still following me. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to the apartment now. I'm just going to keep going and driving and see what happens. So I kept driving down the main road, and eventually I got to a stoplight, like a pedestrian crossing stoplight in front of a hospital. And there was nobody actually crossing, but the light was red, and the person pulled up behind me, and I saw in my mirror they got out of their car and started walking to my driver's side window. And it looked like a woman. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they would have done anything other than yell at me, but I just blew the
No, but you
light and
don't-
fucked off.
You don't test that. If somebody's walking out of the car,
Yeah,
you're
like
"No."
I was just like, fuck it. There's nobody in front of me. There's no pedestrians. I'm just leaving. I'm not dealing with this. So I took off. I drove around for like another 10 or 15 minutes and took a bunch of like zigzag residential streets to get back to where I needed. They weren't following me after that. Like I lost them, but I did that anyways. And so that's my one story. The other one, again, I was in the BRZ. I was alone this time. I was just sort of out cruising, and I was going along the mountain brow to head out towards like the country, like kind of some of the roads that we've been on before. It was 2-lane road, 1 lane each way. The person in front of me, they were doing like 15 under the speed limit.
The best kind.
Yeah, and like it was just a 2-lane road. I think it was like white line in the center, so I didn't want to pass them because I'm a good driver and that's against the law. So I stayed behind them, and eventually towards the end of the road, before it opened up into a 2-lane, I was just really annoyed, and I was like my early 20s at the time. I was probably not as chill as I am now, but I just like I turned on my high beams and I just stayed behind him, high beams on.
So you
And I
were the
backed- and I
antagonist in this
backed-
story.
Yeah, I backed off a little bit so that the full effect of the high beams was just in his cabin. And when the road opened up to 2 lanes, I turned them off. I fucked off past him, and then he got really mad and started flashing his high beams behind me. So I was like, whatever, I'm leaving. Um, and he started following me out into the country, and he was a lot more successful because there's not as many lights around there. So he actually managed to follow me out to the start of where the roads got windy, and then I just took off and lost him because he couldn't keep up.
I mean,
Was this
yeah.
at night?
Yeah, it was like 11:30,
Wow.
Huh.
midnight ish. So yeah, he followed me out there. Roads got a little windy, so I had some. I honestly was, if I'm honest, a little more excited that time because I was like, "Ooh, I'm actually gonna get to escape
You're in a
from
car
someone."
chase.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in a chase, and like it's just like my own little movie right now. Like, people say last night was a movie, kind of was.
Kind of. Dude, that's not bad.
So
I mean,
yeah, I lost him in the twisty roads,
that's pretty cool.
and then I went home straight after.
I don't think I have. Aaron, do you have one? Because I don't think I have a traditional like road rage story.
Road rage story. One I can think of right now is similar to what Nick experienced. This guy on the highway, he didn't have his headlights on. So I gave him a little friendly flash of my headlight, my what's it called? My high beams, just to let him know. And he got so pissed. He like brake checked me, and then he slowed down to go behind me and started flashing me. As if I shouldn't have done that to him. Little did he know he didn't have his fucking headlights on.
Dude.
You know what? I find that more often than not, people have no idea when their headlights are off, and they just think you're flashing them because you want them to
Oh
like
my
move or
God.
something.
Wait,
Especially
I
now
just realized
that-
I'm the
that
antagonist.
now that all cars have their dashboards lit up all the time, like most people have no idea when their headlights are off because it just looks the same as when they're on.
Dude, I did it once. I've not once, more than once. I do this all the time. Whenever I see a car without the high beams, I try to be effective. I do this like I genuinely am trying to tell them that their lights are off. So I'll pull up right next to them and I'll just match their speed and I'll just start flicking my lights off and on and like staring them down. And 9 times out of 10 these people are like just let's just look straight. Just look straight, honey. Don't look at them. And I'm like, I'm trying to help
Yep.
you, you piece of shit. Like and cops never pull these assholes over. Ever.
Like I find it's either like headlights are off or high beams are on.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Oh,
High
man,
beams
yeah.
are on is really bad right now.
Fucking idiots with their high beams on during the day sometimes too.
They're fucking
There's
losers.
some
man.
moron in a Lexus.
Of course. It's always the like discounted luxury drivers, always. Or
Acura.
like
Acura.
Acura's so bad. I feel bad. Acura's the worst right now, man. Like you can get like those TLXs with like an extended warranty for like 23 grand. I mean, like they're fine to commute, but and like that's a good value prop, but that means everybody who wants a luxury car but like doesn't have luxury car money and wants like Honda reliability, like, this is perfect, and they're just the worst people. I wish they would buy Maserati so they'd be on the side of the road more. I dream.
I'm trying to think of a more intense road rage story.
I've got some, but they're not necessarily road rage. They're more like the shit you see on the road, which I think is probably in the similar category. Like I've had a couple of people where I just want to make it very clear. I'm very proud of this. I'm a fucking rat. So if I see you swerving, which I did, 3 lanes on the highway back and forth in your piece of shit Monte Carlo, your 2003 Monte Carlo, I called the cops immediately. Like I was like, OPP, get his ass. Driving north on the 427.
The only thing that would make it better is if it was a Dale Earnhardt edition.
I couldn't tell. It was just a dark road with a dark Monte Carlo, because who knows. But I've seen dudes like on city streets. I've pulled up behind them coming home from work, and this is in Brampton. And I just watched the guy in the middle of winter throw like an empty bottle of iceberg vodka out of his window, and I was like, no fucking way. Because at first, I'm not gonna lie to you, my first thought was he's throwing trash on the side of the road. I did see what it was very clearly, but that's when I realized he is really swerving all over the place, and I followed him all the way back to his house, not to fuck with him. I wasn't like on his ass. I called the cops and I was like, hey, this is happening. This guy threw a fucking like a 750 of iceberg vodka out of his fucking window, 26er for the Americans. And it was like, I'm following this guy. And I called the cops and they're like, all right, we're sending someone. And I'm like, he's home. And they're like, oh, too late. I'm like, what? Come on, man. Like, what the fuck?
What do you mean too? too late.
She literally was like, no point. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I gave him the plate. I'm
Well-
like, I guess.
Well, I guess top tip: if you're ever being chased by the cops, just go home.
Just
Can't
go
get you
home.
once you're in your driveway.
They did
Now, if
change
you
those
report
laws
somebody,
recently.
they do send them a letter, apparently.
Do
'Cause there
they?
was one incident where I was making a right turn.
Oh my god, you got a letter?
No. I was making a
Oh,
right
fuck.
turn, and apparently I wasn't turning fast enough. So the guy behind me started honking, getting all pissed and shit. And I tried my hardest to block him from like getting ahead of me. And then when we both finally turned right, when the light turned green, he like sped up, tried to cut me off, and I went around him, yelled at him and shit through the window. He called me
Really?
a chink, and then he
Whoa!
threw this like plastic bottle at my car.
Dude, he
It
just
didn't
did a
hit my
hate
car,
crime.
obviously. Huh?
That's
Yeah.
a hate crime.
So what I did was I reported him. There's a way online for York Region where you can report somebody for like these road incidents. And in there, I put like he was raging, he was driving unsafe, hate crime, littering, blah 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 blah. And they actually followed up with me. They're like, okay, we'll send him a letter warning him of this.
We'll send
uh,
him a letter. That's the most fucking
Yeah.
nothing response. We told him
It's
he didn't do a good
justice
thing.
served.
Yeah, okay.
Can you
if
imagine? Can you imagine getting a letter for driving like an idiot? Do you think that would deter you from doing that in the
No.
future?
Well, for a while, people were getting letters because like their neighbors would report them for like having a loud exhaust and shit. And apparently, if you get enough letters, you can actually get like a summons to an inspection.
Hmm.
Good.
So
Where
we could like
Fuck them.
we could completely screw someone over.
Can we try that? Can we test that? Like we know.
What do you mean,
our-
can we
one of our
try
friends
that?
Has a single exit, straight piped exhaust on his BRZ.
Yeah, we
Shout
can
out to that
probably try
one
that.
viewer.
Yeah.
I know where he lives. If we let's see, let's all send
make
a
some
letter, like
reports.
a complaint.
Let's not
one
do
a
that.
week?
And it's
you know?
driving egregiously in my neighborhood.
Yeah. That guy, he almost hit my kid.
Yeah,
I
I don't think
startled
I've
me.
ever- I don't think I've ever seen anything like. I mean, obviously there's my two road rage stories, but I don't think I've ever seen anything crazy like that or had anyone yell
Oh,
at me. I remember.
You've
Oh,
never had
actually,
anyone yell at you? I've had a lot of
this
people
one,
yell at
this
me.
time I was, I
Yeah,
guess,
but
kind
people
of
yell
the
at me.
antagonist again. But I remember, again, one time I was working at the dealer and I was going to get licensing done, and the licensing, like the Service Ontario parking lot is shared. It's in like a strip mall with a bunch of other businesses and stuff. And then a lot of times, if you go during like peak hours, there's not a lot of parking. And for some reason, I got there and there was like 4 spots, and somebody was parked. I don't know why, perpendicular across 3 of them.
oh, fuck you.
And I was like, and he was just sitting in his car waiting for something, and I was like, well, I'm not dealing with this. So I parked on the 4th one, basically blocking him in because he would have to do like a 57-point turn to get out.
Fuck him.
And I got out of the car and he's like, hey, how do you expect me to get out? And I was like, I don't fucking care. You figure it out. And I just went and kept working. And I came back and he was still there, like trying to figure it out. And he didn't call me an asshole. He just gave me a bit of a look, and I backed out really slowly. And then just sort of as a joke, I just pulled forward again as he was going to try and come into my spot to get out. And then I
Actually,
left.
I got another parking lot story too after this.
Okay.
Oh,
This
you can
just
go ahead.
happened over the weekend.
This happened just
So-
now? Like,
Yeah, this happened like this past weekend when I visited my grandma. We went out for lunch. Is at this very busy plaza that has a lot of Chinese restaurants. So I pulled into this spot. Apparently, this lady was waiting for it. I didn't see her. She wasn't even on the oncoming lane. She was like horizontal on the other side. Apparently, she was going to make a U-turn and park in that spot.
right.
If you have to make a
Anyway.
U-turn, the spot's not yours.
Yeah, it's not fucking yours. Because whereas it was just right in front of me. I just turned right in and got in there.
Yeah.
So I got out of the car and she's like, I'm a woman. How do you dare take the spot from me?
You're a woman.
She's like,
I would've just pointed
your
like I
mom
did like
birthed you
that."
so tall and handsome. You're such an asshole. What's wrong
What?
with you? I'm like,
What the fuck kind of
Like,
insult
what?
is that?
I don't know. I was kind of taken aback. I asked my grandma, I'm like, did you hear that? Did I get that right?
Mom,
started
you're
laughing.
so tall and handsome. Fuck, I'm gonna start saying that to people.
Yeah. But she said in Chinese. Maybe it was
Sure.
supposed to come off more like condescending.
Oh,
or
she said it
like-
in Chinese?
She said in Chinese.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I
That would have been a lot funnier if they said it in English.
Yeah. That sounds like something someone would translate from like their native
Yeah.
tongue to English for sure.
Yeah, that's sort of what
That
I
sounds
just
like some
did.
shit
But
my mom would say for sure. I don't really know what. I don't get that. What?
yeah, me neither.
Did your grandma be like, yeah, they say that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like,
No, no, that's not a Chinese saying. It's
no,
just, I don't know.
she's just being a weird lady.
Yeah.
Okay. The fuck?
But
Uh,
shout out that lady. She kept trying to talk to me and like convince me to give her my spot. I'm just like, there's cars behind you. You need to go and maybe
you
try
need to
there.
leave.
Yeah.
I've never had that in my life. Although I will say, I've had other like we've all done the Costco shuffle and I despise it, but you basically have to like follow someone to their car to get a spot at any Costco here. It sucks. Don't like doing it. Feel like a stalker.
I always
But
just park way at the fucking back.
no, sometimes I try so hard to park way at the back. There are no spots. Like
Yeah.
that's depends on the time you go. I sometimes 1 or 2 times I've gone and there's been like lots of spots. I'm like, this is the best day ever. But like,
Honestly, I've started going early now because of it. Like I'll wake up early and just go to Costco.
Or you guys,
yeah,
you work from home. Just go on a fucking weekday after work.
it doesn't matter.
I have to work.
Yeah,
It goes at,
Even after
oh, it
work,
goes
it's
at like
busy. Like the
8.
one near me, bro. If you go at like 4 to 5 o'clock, pretty fucking packed.
if you go,
I
You
hate
gotta go like
Costco,
bright
but
and
I love
fucking early in
Costco.
the morning.
I love Costco, but I will say I've literally taken a day off once to do like errands because sometimes you do that shit and like I've hit the Costco and there are some spots, but like it's shockingly full of people on a Tuesday in like the mid afternoon. So
It's fucked. It's always full. Like
yeah, I don't know. I
And
have
Asian
had
people, man, they push their carts like they drive too sometimes.
I will say
Very
it's like it's one
frustrating.
of the things I do. Like if I'm on vacation and I go to Costco on like a Wednesday morning, I'm immediately annoyed because it's like, what the fuck are you people doing here? You're all supposed to be at work.
this is why they keep sending them back to the office because these assholes are out being like doing their shopping and pretending that they're actually working. It's fucking infuriating.
Yeah,
Like,
that was me.
how dare you not work on my holidays?
Yeah. Dude, that was the best. And lately, since that bullshit virus, it's ruined it. My favorite shit in the world is to just all the windows down like in the summer. Everybody else is working. It's 1 p.m. and there's nobody on city streets. That's my that's like my happy place. And
Oh,
like
it's
these
so
assholes are ruining it. These soccer moms going out with their stupid kid. I will say this. Nothing makes me drive more like an asshole than when I see a stupid sticker that says, please drive carefully, baby on board. Like, that's my fucking problem. Fuck your kid.
like
Fuck your kid and fuck you.
future fucking whatever university graduate on board or some dumb shit like that.
Oh, fuck you. Dude, I've literally, there have been multiple incidents where, oh, there was one. I was driving on my street, right? I was not even going fast. I was going like 50 and that is the speed limit. And some shithead with his piece of shit kid, I don't know. I already know. I saw her. She was playing with that fucking soccer ball shittily. Like she's a shit kid. And like I had the windows down, like sunroof open. I'm feeling good. And he yelled, "Hey, slow down there, Superman!" And I wanted to hit him with my car and kill his kid. It was the most infuriated I've ever been because I could understand if I was doing something wrong, you know what I mean? But I wasn't doing anything. He just hated the fact that I was driving like a normal human being and his kid was like, I don't know, like limping into the road or something. I'm sure they had like a cripple limp or something.
Did you still have the FRS at this time?
This is when I had the Sonata.
What?
Yeah.
That,
Do you
that's
see what I'm
Sonata energy,
saying?
that's what it is.
This was I said sunroof. No, this was a 2013 Hyundai Sonata, and the dude was like flabbergasted.
That's fuck. Because like I've had that happen a few times, both in the BRZ. I can't do it really anymore because even though the speed limit through my area is 30, there's speed bumps now, so you gotta slow right down. But like I remember in the BRZ or the MR2, I'll like cruise at the speed limit in like second, and people would just be like, "Slow down," and it's like I'm literally doing the speed limit.
People
But they
just
just see
hear,
something small and sporty, and they're like, "Oh, they must be speeding."
yeah, they must be a piece of shit. I fucking hate it. I mean, I will say, and like it hasn't surprisingly, I haven't. Well, not surprisingly, excuse me. Unsurprisingly, I have not gotten any like issues while driving the Golf. I've definitely gotten like stupid comments in the FRS for sure.
Because it looks like a grown-up car.
Yeah, well, looks less sporty than a GTI, even though it's better than a GTI. So that's the way it works. It's for the mature gentleman who,
It's like, oh, that's a Golf. That person must be a mature, respectable adult.
yeah. Well, that's what they think.
That small sports car, they must be a fucking hooligan.
Yeah. Okay, we wanted to do this, but do you have we should do a couple tier lists. We'll talk about this. Most likely to road rage or road rage at you or do some crazy shit, and then least likely, because I think it'd be interesting to see what the most NPC friendly guy car is too. But we should start with least likely to be road raging, because anything like good luxury, not bad luxury, is my thought.
Least
so, like,
likely to road rage?
least likely to road rage. You need like a good luxury
Anything
car.
with a Volvo badge.
I agree.
Yeah.
Volvo's a good,
Those are
like,
the
yeah,
most well-behaved people on the road.
100%. I think it's even. I will say I think it is also model dependent, because like the really cheapo, like the C250, like C-Class Mercedes, the older they are, the shittier the person, first of all. So like if you're, you know what, forget the people who drive nice, there's people who drive shitty. If you if you drive a C-Class, the older the car is, the more of like a shitty person you are. So like, because you have this, you bought an old Mercedes. One, you're crazy, you're out of your mind. And two,
Wait. It hits a threshold though. Anything older than 10
yes,
It's
It-
gotta be
years, it
like
becomes
it's
like
gotta be like
classic.
anything like 12 years to like 6 years old, because once you start getting like 13 years and older, now you're getting into like, oh, now it's an enthusiast
right.
item.
I think
Yeah.
what we should say instead is anything that is like a commuter specific vehicle that's it's hitting the bottom of its depreciation curve, let's call it.
If you bought a
Yes.
badge whore Mercedes off lease, we're talking about you.
Yeah. Oh, I have a road rage one. Sorry. This is important. I have a fascination with people who believe that they're rich, but they're not. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. The kind of lady who married a doctor and she drives an off-lease BMW, like base model 4 Series. The kind of this bitch, and if you ever hear this, you know who you are. Parked in the like fire truck only thing at a grocery store with her drop top, is it a 4 seat, whatever it was, shitty BMW, her white BMW, left it there for like 30 minutes. It was not running in, it was 30 minutes. This bitch was parked in the fire like truck. I should have called the cops and got her towed, actually, now that I think about it.
The wheels are always covered in brake dust when it's those people too.
100% of the time the car is always filthy and it's full of garbage. They're the worst people. And she came out, and I that's the most angry I've ever been, but I had to wait because my girlfriend was still in the store. Otherwise, I would have followed her. And then I subjected my girlfriend to a 35-minute rant about how this is the worst bitch in the world. She thinks that they think that they married a doctor, and they think that makes them rich, and so they're assholes. And like they have a maid service come in, but they don't have a real maid. But when they talk to the people with real maids who live in, they talk about their maid. Like the kind of people who are like, no, it really is about me. I really am the main character. The kind of bitch who like won't admit she does Botox, but she does. I already know everything about her. I know her whole life story.
Yeah.
Doesn't raise her kids.
I mean, there's like a delta with every brand, right? Like I feel like 3 Series and 4 Series, and I'm gonna put the M3 and M4 in there too. You're gonna run into some road rage in those.
100%.
Bro,
Once
I'd
you
say
get into
whoever
like
has that
5
like,
Series, 7 Series, M5, stuff like that, a lot less likely. X3 road rage, X5, as
X1 and X2 ultimate road rage machine.
yeah, because they're the badge whore models.
no man, it's those guys with the like the C43s.
That's
Because they're
different
fake
though.
OM
AMGs.
cars,
It's the
those
badge
guys,
whore
bro.
AMG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Almost
it's
like
different with them because I think that there's a difference between road raging and feeling you have something to prove. Those are two different things. You got road rage, which is just people being crazy because they think they own the road, and then there's people who are like, I have some shit to prove. Like, I'm actually really cool, you guys. That's a different thing, right? And you could be fine. You could be a completely fine person who likes the C40. That's fine. We just don't respect you, is all it is, right? So it's fine. I just think
Or we might
it's a
respect
different
you,
thing.
but we don't respect your decisions.
We respect you, just not your decisions. Exactly. So I just think it's different, Aaron.
No, I
Like
don't
it's
respect them either.
no, you got.
You know what? I'm gonna say, and maybe it's different the closer to Toronto you get, but I don't see a lot of road rage from Acuras.
Acuras.
See, I don't know if I agree with you.
I don't notice them, to be honest.
They definitely fly under the radar, but the last incident that I had, it wasn't necessarily road rage, but where I went, this guy's a piece of shit. Blue Acura TLX. Riding my ass, just being a dick, just standard. This is what I said earlier. Like the Acura is, maybe it's like ramping up, but it's a brand where you can get a relatively new car, not as heavy as the other stuff, but reasonably heavy depreciation, and they extend the factory warranty. So like, I don't fault you for buying one, but realistically speaking, it's going to attract some real degenerates, so some real undesirables.
Yeah, this is actually, because like I honestly can't really think of anything at this point that like I haven't, like a manufacturer that I haven't been road raged at from,
Yeah,
other than
Porsche.
Volvo.
Porsche,
Have you seen a road raging Porsche?
No, there's
Macans.
definitely some fucking Macan owners out there.
100%.
Rick, personally, have you experienced some Macan tailgating you?
Yeah, I have for sure.
Macan owners are like the Q50 owners with some money.
Speaking of Q50s, Infinities. If
Honda Fit. Everyone
no,
that drives them, comfortable with themselves. They don't.
oh, okay, so they're the
they're
good
not
ones.
phased.
Okay. You know what? Full of anything Infinity, like if you have anger issues, you probably drive an Infinity.
100% you do.
Also, Toyota Prius.
You think they're
Every Toyota Prius there's only the extremes. There's never anything in the middle. It's either somebody driving it exactly like a Prius is supposed to be driven, or somebody driving it nothing like what a Prius is supposed to be driven like.
Yeah, I agree. It's never in the middle. Though with the new Prius Prime, and is it Prime? The new one? Like the real...
That's just a trim.
Oh, okay. Well, like the real fucking hot boy, like now that we all think that it looks good, they're getting cocky too, I will say. They think they've got something, and it pisses me off. I make eye contact with Prius drivers.
I don't know. I don't see a lot of those.
Really? Oh, I see them all the
Yeah.
time.
Especially the new
I
one.
see tons of them. Tons of
Maybe I'll
videos.
start seeing that after we talk about it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I've
gonna
started
start seeing them.
the Toyota Crosses.
I've started
the
seeing
Corolla
golf since
Cross.
owning a Golf R. I see them all. I used to never see them. And now I see them nonstop. I think it's just you're not looking for it, right?
Yeah.
Some ownership bias now.
I think it is. Which is weird because like they made about the same amount of STIs as they did Golf Rs, I think. So it's also possible that they're badged,
I see
like
tons
up
of
badged.
STIs.
Really? I don't
Tons
see
of-
any.
I see
Okay.
tons.
Maybe it's just the area.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
see STIs that often anymore either.
I think they've moved. I used to see FK8 like Type Rs like a lot.
I don't see many of those at all.
I don't see them
Not
anymore.
very
I see those
Fair
a lot.
enough
I
here.
see a lot of those on my commute.
Hmm.
I think it's like one a day.
It's
I
like
think it's-
every second person where you live has a Type R.
It's pretty rare that like
It's like
You get
it's like the Asian boy rite of passage.
So what do you have in your neck of the woods? Is it the Focus RS? Focus ST?
Around
really
here,
care.
Those?
tons of Mustangs,
yeah.
Thanks.
It's
GT.
Mustang
Mustangs,
culture.
Camaros. Not actually decent number of Corvettes, not as many of Mustangs and Camaros, obviously, but like just lots of like working man sports cars, I guess. Like
I mean-
domestic
Okay.
brands are very popular here.
I used to
I've
see a lot
seen
more.
a couple of C8s on the road. Every time I see it, I think it's a Ferrari.
Every time
It
you
looks
see what?
good.
Sorry?
I'm not gonna lie. The
Every
C8
time I see a
Corvette,
C8, it
Uh.
like, and all right, I respect the numbers of the C8, but every time I see it, I just think it's like it's a Grand Theft Auto car. Like they couldn't
I agree.
afford to license.
you don't like the way it
design.
looks? I think it
No,
looks
I don't
pretty
like
cool.
it either. I think it's got wonky proportions.
I'm not gonna say like it doesn't look
about it.
bad. It just something's off about like it's too long.
It's also
And
the
then
front
the back
doesn't.
is too square.
Yeah, I agree with. And the front doesn't come down far enough, so like it's weird because like the lights sit like atop the bumper, and it just
like-
doesn't do it
like-
for me.
they made it for Corvette owners, so like it has a trunk that you can fit 2 golf bags in, but because it has that, it has weird proportions. If they just got rid of the trunk and
Yeah, it would
made
be
it
better
like a
looking.
true, like then it would look good
I think the C7 looks
because they could
far
style
better.
the rear properly.
Yeah. I don't. I just doesn't do it for me. It looks weird, and without the wing, it looks even worse. I will say.
Yeah, I would take
Really?
C7 over a C8 every day of the week.
For the value prop and just visually, I would also take a C7. Yeah, it's gonna be a no. And even then, Aaron, you should like the C. You should dislike the C8 because like you're a manual diehard.
Oh, fuck it.
Okay, well, okay. We'll remind him of this later, Nick. We'll remind him when he's
I mean,
like,
he
"Yeah,
did
you
like
know."
the Chrysler. He does like the Chrysler Pacifica too. So who the
He
fuck knows?
does. That's true.
I don't mind the Corvette. I mean,
That's fine.
it's good.
No,
I keep telling you, you should get a C7 Z06. It's like the most Japanese Corvette.
No, I'm talking about the C8 right now.
Oh.
I honestly thought it was a Ferrari in the dark. I just
How?
saw this red car. I'm like, oh, is that a Ferrari? And
You
then
hear the new Z06?
got
It
close
sounds
to
like
it.
a Ferrari.
yeah. They desperately want
Yeah.
it to be a Ferrari. I look.
They
I
did. They benchmarked the 458 for it.
It is a good car. There's no question that it is a good car. That's not what this is about. It's for anybody who's like, they don't understand. No, we get it. It's just that
Yeah.
we look at it and we don't like it. The way it looks is weird.
I will say, once you start getting into like the Z06 and ZR1 and like the arrow starts getting more wild, it looks better with that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a car that benefits from that extra styling.
These
It's
things
like
cheap, that.
it's kind of like the
How much were they?
718, where like the like top trim variants have way better looking bumpers.
A
and stuff.
Z06 starts at like 150 grand or 160
That's a lot of money.
grand here.
Bro. How much
You
is a
can get- you-
base C8?
You can get a Stingray with a Z51 pack for like 105.
It's not cheap, man. Like as far as like
105 for the base? Holy
yeah,
I thought
man.
Yeah,
Corvettes
like
were
if you
for the
want like the
working man.
base, no options, I think it's like 93.
Okay,
But
I want
You don't want the base with no options.
I want to say
like,
this: Corvettes have never been for the working man. That's been a myth for years. That's an
Is it
absolute
not?
lie.
It's not a working man car? I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not because
I feel like they were up until like the C6 is when they really started.
I was
straight.
gonna say C5.
Like a C5 Z06 was probably like the last, like if like you could just be like a factory worker, and if you did things properly, you could get into a C5 Z06 in your retirement,
Sure, in your retirement,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's like your retirement gift.
Mm-hmm. No, that I
But,
agree
like,
with.
Once
Bro,
they
these
started,
things-
once they did the C6 and Z06 and ZR1, now it's like it's not really this is not really like a blue collared man's dream car anymore. Like
No.
even this is like you got to be like the factory manager.
Mm-hmm. You have to be doing well to get one of these. It's not a working man's car anymore, and that's partially because of the amount of money that they've put into the R&D on this car. Which I understand they did not have a platform that existed. This platform was built for this car. They're losing money on these cars because they'll be using it for future projects. I understand. With that said, that's the one I'm looking at as well. I'm looking at one right now for the viewer. Silver, already a shit color. It's a 2021 Corvette Stingray 1LT. So that's the base model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 81 grand Canadian with 3,000 kilometers on it. So this guy bought it thinking that it was going to be like a scalp car for sure with 3,000 kilometers on it. That's breaking miles. And bought it for some reason in silver, like a moron.
I like the silver. It looks good. No,
I
don't
think
like
you're
it?
out of your mind.
But then like
It looks like the Hockenheim
consider
silver.
everything else you can get at this price level, Aaron. So 81 grand. So you can get a 981 Cayman GTS.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a brand new M2.
Mm-hmm. Which is
But-
also
but
ugly.
This is American, bro.
You can get a
So what?
you could get a brand new Supra with 10 grand left over.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. You could get one of those. What is it? The GT. What's it? GT5 or GT7 something?
You could
Bro,
get
the
a
guy
you could get a
buying
Mustang
this,
GT
they don't
350.
care. They want a Corvette.
Yeah, like Corvette owners they're a breed. That's for sure.
Holy
They're
shit,
the
look at this.
They're I don't know.
What is this?
I highly recommend, like, if you even doing it just for the experience, go to a Corvette meet just once in your life.
You'll hate it. You'll want to kill yourself. I'll say it straight up. See,
Like,
that's
if you ever want to see somebody who like takes their shoes off to get in their car, you're gonna see it
Yeah.
at a Corvette meet.
I So Aaron just sent us through a Z06, a 2025 Corvette Z06, and like this is what we're talking about. If you find it on like the bumper is so much better than the base Corvette.
So aggressive, this
It
thing.
makes it look so much better, but the back is still a weird piece of shit.
What
So
is that
then
wing,
again,
bro?
so this one's what 215. So do you want a Z06 or do you want a GT3?
Do you want a Z06 or do you want an R8?
But I'm a good old boy, no? I need that.
You're not a good old
muscle.
boy.
I'm a
As
good
that
old
guy
boy.
said, what did he call it? He told you called you racist things. They don't want you to buy American. Just
They want
saying,
me to do
man.
it, so I'm gonna
Like
do
if
it.
you want a Corvette, get a C6 Z06. They rev high, they're lightweight.
They've also hit the bottom of their
It's
curve.
like the
It is
American
insane.
S2000, but it's a hard top.
You'll never lose money on one. Like if you buy a C6 Z06, never gonna lose money on one.
They're
Like,
too expensive now. They're like 40, 50K. Well, I guess it's the same price as
That's in your price
S2000.
range.
I can't stand the interior.
Oh, you'll hate the C5 then even more. That one is
Oh,
what
yeah,
did it
no,
for me.
definitely
I
not.
can't.
I don't
look
like
at
the C5. I think the C6, C7, the C8 are the only ones I like. The newer ones.
it. You are lucky you have a significant other though,
Yeah,
because
like
they don't like
my
Corvette drivers.
ideal vet personally would be like a C7 Grand Sport
Mm,
in like lightning yellow C7 Grand Sport with like the carbon ceramic brakes,
yeah,
7-speed.
I would. I mean, yeah,
Because the C7 Grand Sport I think is like it's like the it's the Corvette sweet spot where like it gets all the brakes, aero, and suspension of the Z06,
Mhm.
but you don't get the supercharged V8 from the Z06. You get like the normally aspirated 450 horsepower.
Where are they at pricing
Like
wise?
I want to
This
say
one I'm
they're
looking at
like
70
the
grand
80s,
for a Grand Sport.
80s
2019.
to
70.
I guess
Okay.
they've gone down a bit, so maybe
Auto,
mid
though.
70s to 90s.
Hmm. I
I don't
mean,
know, man. Something about this Corvette just looks like a fake car. I don't know.
it does. That's the point. That's
Kinda
what
reminds
the
of a
problem with the
Hot Wheel.
M2. Like they're not real. They're not real cars. Like they're like weird like. Okay, like they're real cars, but they just have a weird design language that like it doesn't look right.
They look
because,
like they couldn't afford to. They look like a GTA car. Like they needed
Yeah.
to make something that looks kind of like an M2, but they can't make an M2 because they'll get sued.
Yeah. So it's like BNW, and then there you go. That's my problem as well with like I really like that Corvettes have retained that like T-top across all of their like coupe models because
Love the
I think
Targa.
T-top is peak, but like the back of it just there's something wrong with it. It looks unfinished. Like it's like they're like we'll leave that for now and we're gonna come back and revise
because
it.
it's square because it needs to have the trunk to fit the fucking golf bags.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not like it's like a block of thing. They haven't chiseled out the design yet, but they can't because they need to put like to
You
put
know what
golf
I'd
clubs in
rather
it.
have than an entry level vet? A
What?
Lotus Emira.
100%.
Bro,
I'll
aren't
take
those
an
like
Evora.
150?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
130.
Remember we were talking about road rage a bit ago? How did we end up here? Let's see. Lotus.
We ended up talking about Corvettes.
I think you just want a Corvette. Oh yeah, they're 135
He's
for
doing
an
that thing
Emira.
again where like he likes to browse. So next week it'll be something else.
I just like
why,
I think
were we talking about Corvette? I don't remember.
because you said you saw one on the
fucking
highway.
said- yeah, you were like, I saw a C8 of
Oh,
a Ferrari.
I see. That was a Ferrari.
You know
yeah,
what's-
exactly.
I want to chime in on this just because I was looking at Lotus. And I promise we won't spiral out. Do you remember a long time ago? Maybe I mentioned it to you, Nick. The Lotus Europa. I said one day that would be a great
there's 1%
import.
for like 55 grand.
Yeah, they were like 10 grand, like
I
8
know.
years ago. That's really
Oh, I
frustrating.
know.
Oh man. Okay, so I don't know, man. Going back to road rage a little bit because we're just shopping for cars, but which is what we seem to be doing.
Speaking of T-tops, you know what car has a Targa that I didn't realize is a Targa? Technically a Targa?
What?
The Lotus Spree.
Yeah.
You can take the whole center of the route. I didn't realize
Oh, you
that.
didn't know that? I knew something Nick didn't know. That's one for me, 700 for you. So I'll take that one. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
I would own the shit out of a Lotus Esprit. I wouldn't drive it. It would be.
I was
broken
looking
most
at them
days.
for a while when they were like 55 to 65 grand before I bought the Supra.
They're
Mm.
nice.
I was
I
like,
can't imagine maintaining that though.
and then I was like looking at it like, ooh, engine out to do the belts. Ooh,
Yeah.
got to
They're
do the
I'm
not
belts
quite
stubborn.
every
cheap.
5 years.
Yeah, that's a big. Ew.
Fifth gear likes to blow itself up. Ew.
It's a piece of shit transmission. Ew.
Fucking sounds good though.
Sure. I mean, it's a
It's a
fucking
flat plane
V8,
crank
man.
V8, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 3.5 liter, twin turbo V8.
that has to sound good. And it's old, so it's just gonna
Yeah,
sound better. Man, I didn't realize they made them that long.
yeah, they
Oh,
made them from the V8s. I think were from like 95 to 2002 or 2003.
I thought they were cut off in the 90s, but yeah, 2003 final edition sells for double the price of a brand new Emira. Holy shit, this sold for 300 grand. Fuck me.
They don't normally go for that much. They normally
No.
go like even in the States maybe 100.
300 grand? That's insane. It's one of those that
So
like no kilometers, right?
it has to be 100%. It has to have like been sitting. I've seen cars like yeah with no mileage on. Like remember we were looking, there was like a GTI or like a Golf R that had like 3,000 kilometers on it or something. And we're like, this has to be the hardest 3,000. This has only been to a track. This is the hardest 3,000 kilometers that a car has ever seen.
Redlined right off a cold start.
Dude, absolutely. There's no world where it's anything but that. People are like, oh, low miles, that's great. No, dude. It's like with CTRs, you used to see it a lot.
Exchange student cars.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Those are all like friends of Aaron.
Beat the absolute fucking piss out of it, and then hand it back at the end of the lease when they have to go home
Yeah,
with 4,000 of the hardest kilometers any vehicle has ever done.
dude. It's like what we were talking about with dealers. Like, if you get a car from a dealer and it has like 50 kilometers on it, just know that 45 of those kilometers were the hardest kilometers a car has ever driven.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm sorry to any customer that ever bought a car from the dealer I worked at that I had to dealer trade and pick up, because know that I drove the fucking wheels off your car on the way back to my store.
Dude, I work across the,
I remember
the
once
Porsche
I had to
dealership.
pick up-
People whip that shit so hard.
I remember once I had to pick up an FRS, or no, sorry, GT86. It was the first year of after the update from Toyota Niagara and drive it back. And I fucking whipped that shit the whole way back.
Bro. That's what's
Getting
up.
on the way, I would like red line first through third.
And the car had 5 kilometers on it.
Yeah, got back to the dealership for delivery with like 55, 60 kilometers on the clock. Hardest kilometers that car will ever do.
This is not an exception. Have you seen those, like, this is sort of road ragey, but have you seen those videos of people who put cameras in their cars, like they're like GR Corollas and stuff, and they send it through for like a service, and like even the
Yeah.
texts are like, fuck this guy. They actually say like, fuck this guy, like for thinking that he's got something special. And I'm like,
Oh, they turn that shit off if they see it in there.
yeah, but
They
they've been
don't
hiding
line
them.
up.
He's
Hiding
specified.
them.
Apparently, he tells them like there's a camera, and the guy said, oh, they say there's a camera in here, and you didn't see it. Like, yeah.
Bro, people need to chill the fuck out. Like,
Or what about
relax.
those videos
Just
of like
BRZ.
the techs that like they'll just joyride the cars that come through the shop, like actually joyride them?
Yeah, there was
mean,
one from a Canadian Tire I
With
saw.
that, but-
It's crazy. It's not about, no, but I'm sorry, Aaron. It's not about chill. Like if they did that to your S2000, if you took it to a place and they did that, you'd be upset.
I wouldn't take it there.
But
I
you
mean, if I'm
wouldn't
taking
know.
it to a dealer,
There was a
expected.
video on Instagram that I found from probably like 6 months ago of like a Porsche tech that was doing a service on a GT3, but he recorded himself doing like 0 to 140 miles an hour on the
Hell
highway.
yeah. That's fucked.
And like I think it was in like Texas, and I'm pretty sure he ended up getting fired over it. But
As he should.
Actually, when I had the BRZ, I changed the steering wheel myself and I broke the clock spring. So that's
That's
the
a
piece
$900
behind
part.
the steering wheel.
yep.
Yeah, it's not a cheap part. I brought it into the dealership to get replaced, and I had my dash cam on, and they didn't unplug it. So I was just watching what they said when they were fixing the car. Man, they were talking shit.
Yeah, they
Like,
talk
what's
shit
wrong with this
nonstop.
fucking guy? They're like, oh, this guy, he must think he's a race car. He changed his steering wheel. Oh, oh, oh.
Dude, that's what they do. They've always unplugged mine though. Whenever I would take it, it would come back, it would be unplugged. So,
I have a lock on mine. You can't unplug it without
really?
without like the key to unlock the little latch where the cable
But
goes
you have a
in.
good one. You have a nice dash
Just out
cam.
of that fucking lock? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I had a Chinesium dash cam. I'm sure Aaron Niels had a.
I can't put Chinesium webcam or dash cams in the Supra because of the way fucking BMW's charging system works.
Hell yeah, classic. Make you spend more money. I mean, I don't know. It's just like sketchy, right? Like this is what I'm saying. Like if you brought your car in and then you checked the dash cam, and they were literally like, "This guy's a fucking asshole." I would be calling the manager of that dealership. It's a completely reasonable thing to be
for me,
upset
it's
about.
like if you want to say like I'm an asshole or whatever, but you're gonna do the work anyways and do it properly, that's fine. Go ahead, have your opinions. But I think the line for me is like, don't. I say this after having done it myself. Drive my car
You fucking hypocrite.
beyond what's
You
required.
hypocrite.
Dude, you're a fucking
You're a
hypocrite.
goddamn
What are you
hypocrite.
talking about? We can say that. You're not allowed to say that. You can't do it
I'd
for
say
fucking
within
6 years.
reason, though. Yeah, like the cars can take it. Let's be honest. It's fine. Your car's not gonna break if it goes 140 kilometers.
I mean,
100
like you
miles.
should see how they drive them at like the docks or the rail yards. Like they're not
Yeah.
nice to them.
No, they're
Like
not.
if they crash
They
it,
got
then yeah,
they got a
fine.
schedule to keep. Like they don't fucking care about making sure the cold start mode is off after the car's started before they move it. They're just fucking get in and go.
I'm sure they couldn't give half a shit. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that like okay, so like one of the ones I saw was a guy, one tech teaching another tech how to drive manual on a customer car.
No,
Yeah.
you're
That-
kidding.
I'm
That's
not.
fucked.
He said I would really it was a GR Corolla circuit and he said I would appreciate if you could give it to a senior tech. All it was in there for was a fucking oil change. And the guy's like, this guy thinks his car is special. Oh, this is how you I hope I don't money shift. This is the first time I'm driving like this is a real video that exists. Like and there's not only they're talking shit
people
like
I feel like people don't realize how often stuff like this
no, all the
actually
time.
happens. All the time.
Assume that is what is happening when you take your car to a dealership or a stealership.
Damn. What
Whatever.
more reason not to take it there?
No, that's
But I
why
guess
I
if they
go to a
break
VW
it, then they're
specialist.
gonna
They're gonna
compensate
fix
you.
no, but they're not because I have
A lot of
I
them
have,
will like fight you on it, and you have to like prove that it was them.
Where did I hear this story that like somebody had a car like where they took a BRZ to the dealer and then they had broken a motor mount and they claimed that like, oh, we found that this motor mount is broken because they lifted the car wrong or something. And then he was like, well, they're like, so it's gonna be this much to fix it. And then he was like, well, I'll just take it back home and I'll check it out because I don't believe you. And they were like, okay, we broke it, we'll fix it for free. So like they try to make you pay for it first too. Fuck them.
Crazy. How do you break a fucking motor mount from lifting the car?
I mean, I feel like I told this story on the podcast before, but like the dealer I worked at, their parts truck, they put it in for an oil change through their own fucking service
Oh yeah, you
department.
did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy doing the oil change drained it, went on lunch, came back and took it for a test drive. He didn't put oil back in it. So the engine seized and then they just fucking put it through Toyota warranty. They were like, yeah, it blew up on us. We don't know what
Oh,
happened.
it's strange.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're fucking jerk
And
offs.
this is why I do my own maintenance now. I don't trust anyone else.
I try and do everything that I can, but
I just take it to a shop
there's
where I
like
can
there's like a
watch.
balance. Like I like doing things myself, but there's certain things where it's like if I'm gonna have to wait like 6 weeks before I can use the lift that I normally use, and it's like a really intensive job, I'd rather just send it out. Because for my fun cars, like 6 weeks is
It's a long
like a
time.
Quarter of the season.
a quarter of the season. So
Yeah. It's understandable, but like that's why I like the shop I go to now, which is a VW specialist, because they have a big window so you can see the techs working on your car. And honestly, that should be the way the dealerships are because
and
Subaru
you
Mississauga,
better fucking bet Anthony's forehead is right on that glass whenever it's cursed.
brother, they literally look over. Yeah, literally, they look over and they're like, "What's this fucking guy?" And I'm just like, "Boom,"
Anthony's
like
sitting there taking fucking notes.
Got his phone
I
out,
make sure
you
they
know?
do every step. I literally make sure they do every step. I don't. I
Make sure
just
they torque
okay.
it. Like, what's that torque spec
Like,
there?
hey, did you torque the oil filter down to 12 pound-feet?
Yeah, I make sure, motherfucker. I don't.
I'm like, no, we did 14, and he's like, you're fired.
My worst fear is them like doing something like not putting oil in my car or something like that. But honestly, I will say, like, never had a single issue with this shop so far. Like, they're very respectful. They don't push you to do anything. Like, it's like they're like, whatever you want. Like, we're here when you need it, and we'll give you recommendations. They're like, he's like, my price would be more expensive on like this part I wanted, like the R fucking caliper cover. He's like, you should call the dealer. Like, respectable. So, I mean, like, it's good. But you know, Subaru Mississauga. So remember when we went to order my Gen 2 BRZ that we ended up canceling, but
Yeah.
like they have that big window, so you can actually see everything in the shop and your car being worked on. And I think that's like a certain level of like transparency that, like, yeah, you're not gonna hear what they're saying, but like, you know.
I think a lot of dealers have that these days. Even my old dealer had one where like you could, it wasn't huge, but you can see into the shop from near where like the service writers
Yeah.
were. But then at the same time, like so many dealers overbook their service department to where like unless you're going in for just an oil change, like your car is probably going to be there for 6 hours, and
No,
You're
even
not.
then,
Fuck. Bro,
Like,
like, changing tires on the Elantra takes. My fiance does that at the dealership. Takes the whole day. Bro,
yeah,
Bro, it's
insane.
crazy.
dude, I did. I used to go to the dealer for the Sonata from the story that I told earlier, and it was like 4 hours for an oil change because they overbooked it. The Hyundai dealership experience made me suicidal. I just, yeah, glad I don't own
Terrible.
an Elantra N.
I mean, it's the same for like now. Whenever my Supra has to get service, I'll book it on like a Wednesday or a Thursday because I'm gonna have to work all day anyways. Because I know it's gonna be gone until like 4 or 5.
Can you get your dad to
Right.
take it there?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
No, I usually drop it off myself.
And what,
Oh.
you Uber home?
Gives me an excuse to not be at work for an hour.
Well,
Say hi, Dad. Have lunch.
hello, father.
Yeah, I mean, I usually book the services at like 8:30 in the morning, so sales isn't even in yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I'll be getting back from dropping the car off, and my dad's leaving for work.
I got to do another oil change, and I'm probably gonna be doing like, yeah, I do like 8 in the morning on a Monday, and I just sit in the the waiting room and work, and then like put up my face up against the window and check that they're doing it right, and then go back to working. So, you know, I don't know. I
He's
like,
gonna be in the middle of a meeting at the service department, and they're gonna drop his car off the lift.
yeah, I would love that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't love that. Like, it would be bad, but it's like kind of, there's no way they're gonna talk out of that. You know what I mean? They're gonna
Anthony would be like, "I have been waiting for this moment to yell at a service manager all my life."
I don't I don't believe they would ever do that. I would really like to do that at like, oh, let me tell you, actually, speaking of service man, I did yell at this person. We have a Corolla Cross, and I had to take it in where I was gonna take it in because the fucking taillights are having condensation in them. So I'm like, so they're leaking, and it's under the bumper to bumper, so I want them replaced. I called 4 different fucking Toyotas to get an answer on whether that is covered under the bumper to bumper or not, and they wouldn't tell me. So I got really fucking agitated because it's a simple yes or no. I know you have to check them because they're like, no, sir, we have to check them first to see if they're damaged. One, how does a rear tail light get rock damage? I don't think it works that way. I know it's possible, maybe like a 1%, but I absolutely crashed out on the last guy who was like, there's no way for me to tell you. I lost my shit because I'm like, it's a real simple question. If it's just leaking, are you going to change it? I can't tell you. Lost it. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry, man. I actually crashed out on that more than when they fucked up my FRS recall and there was no oil in the car. Like, I was more upset about the taillights. I don't know. I don't feel bad.
That's because your FRS was probably
Wait. So did they change it or no? What did they say?
Yeah, it ended up going in and there was condensation and there was no damage because it's a fucking tail light. And then they just replaced them. And then a week later, the car threw a check engine light. So the 4-wheel drive shut down. Yeah, allegedly it was an O2 sensor, which doesn't make sense to me on a less than 3-year-old car, but okay.
I mean,
they did
my
fix it.
parking sensor replaced on the Supra this year because it came loose on its mounting.
Really? You're replacing the whole sensor?
Somebody may have bumped it a little bit, but the dealership doesn't need to know that.
Somebody?
Yeah, with their knee, maybe. Allegedly.
Who knows? Allegedly. Yeah. Nobody knows who you are and what Supra this is anyway, so it's fine. The best thing is getting your car fixed under warranty. It's like the nicest feeling in the world. Because it's like, oh fuck, it's
I
broken.
did have to wait
but-
10 months for the sensor to show up. But
Shut up. 10 months?
yeah, because this happened like last spring is when I took it in and I was like, yeah, the sensor's loose. And they were like, yeah, we'll replace it under warranty. We'll order the parts. Parts didn't show up until January.
10 months.
Dude.
That's insane.
And my last service last year was in May, so 8 months. And but
Oh
my
my
service
God.
this year is in April, so yeah,
Wait, so
11
the
months.
part showed up this January?
Yes, they were.
So it's not
ordered
been done
last
yet.
May. No,
So you have to take it in when you pull the car out in a month.
yeah, it has to go in for its yearly service anyways.
Right.
But
Okay,
like
fair enough.
this was supposed to be done last year, but the parts took so long to arrive that it's
Who has
being
the
done
part?
this year.
Do you have it or do they have it?
The dealer has it. been
Imagine they lose
sitting-
that shit. You wait another 10 months.
It
Oh,
must
bro,
be
I'd
because
go
it's a
off on
BMW
them.
part.
I would go off on them.
Yeah. It must be because like it's a BMW part, right? Like they have to
I
order
have
it
no
from
idea.
BMW
At
or
one point,
something.
I was going to be like, "Can you just tell me the part numbers and I'll find them myself?"
So what is
Because like
that?
I don't really have faith in most dealership like parts departments to actually get parts or get
I-
the right parts. Like I'd rather just show me the parts diagram and I'll figure it out.
That dealer definitely dropped the wrong MAF sensor into my FRS. So yeah, I agree with
You had that check engine light for fucking ever.
It was for almost 2 years of chasing, and like so when that car was sold, it like 90% of the gaskets and everything were just like fresh.
What was
So-
wrong with that again? So
They put the wrong MAF. So the BRZ has one MAF sensor, and then the WRX STI have a different MAF sensor. Very similar looking part, like literally looks identical, fits in the same slot, but it's looking for different values. So it's through different readings. So it throws a check engine light. So these when I think I've sort of mentioned this, so I won't like spend too much time. But as I kind of gave up after spending over like probably $2,500 at the dealer trying to chase this, I literally was like, okay, I'm gonna try to fix this myself. Where do I start? And with anything, the way that I diagnose computers is like, the first thing you have to assume is the things that you believe are true are not true. So if I'm like, my assumption at first was maybe this MAF sensor is bad, like it just DOA. What I didn't realize when I ordered the part from Amayama and it came, and when I replaced it, I was like, this is not even the same fucking part. So I was right, but for the wrong reason, which is a fucked up
good
way to
video.
find out that the dealer basically stole $2,500 from you. So, and they did nothing about it.
Where did you go? You went to Subaru?
Subaru Maple, if you ever want to service your Subaru, don't
so
go
you should
there.
have went to Toyota, where they would have only had the part for the FRS. You would have been
You're
good.
right. The reason I went was
It's a
because
Subaru part number.
it's a Subaru part and it's a Subaru
And they
car, and I'd
fucked
gotten
you.
so sick of dealing with Toyota's like service centers that I had lost it. Like it was like anytime I would go there, they'd fuck it up. So I was like I this is also like fresh off of a recall where all the oil came out. Right? So I'm like, I'm not going to Toyota. Biggest mistake of my life.
Most Toyota dealers like they don't really know how to work on anything that isn't like their bread and butter cars. Like the only reason I take my car to the dealer is because one, I personally know the tech that's working on it, and if something is done wrong, I have weight to pull around there.
Yeah.
And two, it keeps the warranty happy.
Yeah.
Once the car is out of warranty, I would not take it to the dealer for anything. I'll take it to a Beamer Indie shop.
I mean, mine is under warranty, my Golf R, but I take it to a reputable shop and I have all my invoices, and like it is what it is.
But like Volkswagen, at least, like they know what they're doing because Golf Rs are a Volkswagen product made in house.
Yeah.
FRSs are basically Subarus, and Supras are basically BMWs. So, like the Supra is a little different, I guess, because you have to get specific training before you can actually work on it. So most dealerships only have one trained Supra technician, but the like FRS and GT86, GR86, whatever, any tech can work on those. There's no special training required, but most Toyota techs just aren't used to working on what's basically a Subaru.
Yeah.
Bro, if I work at Toyota and I'm trained to work on BMW, the one BMW. I'm fucking applying for BMW after
Yeah, you could
I get that
realistically.
training.
Like
Assuming they pay more. I don't know. Probably
you would
lower
I have,
assume.
volume.
I have no idea. Apparently, it's a tough living being a mechanic these days,
Yeah,
unless you're like the shop foreman or something.
I mean it's hard, but like also like the reason is because you can get into it so fucking easily. Like they say that all the time. The guy pushing the broom at Ferrari is a tech the next day. Like it takes nothing to get into it. Like
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, like every Porsche tech I see seems to own some sort of classic 911, so maybe they do all right.
yeah, maybe you should be a Porsche tech, Aaron. You should quit your day job and go
Be a
start.
Porsche tech. He's gonna put on that Porsche jumpsuit and just immediately feel at home.
Yeah,
Bro, that was my backup plan. If I wasn't able to find a job after school, I was gonna go be a mechanic.
really,
Yeah.
huh? I've thought about it. I think I would be happier doing sales, and I not it, like we said before, like in a slightly better brand like Porsche,
Scale
BMW,
dealer.
Audi. I could see that.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
thing
could
about
see you in
like the tough
sales.
thing about being a mechanic is like to do it properly and to actually like be in a position to make decent money doing it. It's a lot of certifications and keeping those certifications and
Yeah.
training and retrain. Like there's a
Certifications, bro.
lot to it.
Doesn't it just your I don't know, your regular mechanic license? What other certifications do you need?
There's like a bunch of
Tons.
stuff.
There's like EV certs, hybrid certs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's levels, like not just your mechanic's license, but there's like I forget the exact name for it, but there's a lot of levels and then very specific.
do you guys
niches
ask for
you
those
get between.
credentials when you take your car to an indie shop?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't
No,
matter.
but like somebody hiring you is going to be looking for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Usually,
But
like
they'll probably pay
Unless
you
you
for that
start your own
too.
shop and it
Yeah.
works out for you.
indie shops are different though too, because an indie shop, like a dealer, like they're making money on like oil changes and like bullshit services anyway, and then warranty work that's being paid for by like the manufacturer. So they're happy to take like whomever and then pay them low wages, whereas like the indie shops are hiring qualified technicians because like they need people to do the job right, and like there's much less of a there's much less in the way of just like you can fuck things up and it's fine at an indie shop. Like yeah, they've got insurance, but you know what I mean. So like, and usually indie shop guys who specialize, they start like in a fucking dealership or something, and then they go independent later on. Like
That's true.
we've
Fair
talked
enough.
about that guy on YouTube with the big beard, humble mechanic who does the VW stuff, and he was a VW tech for like 10 years or so. Or no, he worked at a Honda dealer doing the VWs that came in or something crazy. Like he was in that world. So it's this tale as old as time. Like nobody just is like, I'm a mechanic now and I work at an independent shop, or I have my own independent shop.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while, but
Well, you
it's
got
a lot
family
of
connections too.
it's I know, but yeah, I do, but it's a lot of bullshit. Like a lot of the stuff you don't think about, when we think of mechanics, what I don't know, me personally, I always look at it through like my enthusiast classes, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna just be fucking building engines and shit all day,
Yeah,
1,000 horsepower Supras. No, it's like the dead of winter and it's snowing outside, and you put the car up on the lift and it's fucking dripping road grime all over you, and all the
that
fucking bolts are rusted on, so your 2 hour job takes 5, but you're being paid flat rate, so you're only getting paid for 2 hours. That's usually what it's like being a mechanic.
yeah, that's what I've heard. I was saying that the other day, and they're like, "There's nothing." A coworker of mine, he's an older gentleman, used to own an independent shop, and they got bought out by a company that they were doing a service contract for. And he's like, "I'll just buy your whole shop." And he was like, and the dad who owned it was like, "Okay." But he was like, "There's nothing, no worse feeling. You put a car on the lift, and you're like looking underneath it, and just a big ball of road grime and snow just hits you in the eye, and you're like, I just want to fucking kill myself. Like, there's no reason
Yeah.
to do this."
Like I don't know. It'd have to be somewhere warm for me to consider it.
I think it's like you. Unfortunately, like building 1,000 horsepower fucking engines is like one project a year if you're lucky. Like with a reasonable independent shop, you have to be someone pretty special to get like a lot of those roll through. A lot of those shops have like some kind of presence online. Like it's a whole media circus too, right? It's not just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it would never just be wrenching, which sucks. Like for somebody who wants to do just that. I've thought about like my dad being in the auto industry for a long time thought about like purchasing out like a body shop that he had like big connections with, like because they would send all their work there, and like he was known the guy for like 25 years. He's like, I'm getting old, and he's like, my kids don't give a shit, like they don't want to be a part of this. Looked at all the numbers, they look good, but I forget what ended up happening. I think he just wanted too much money for the business, but like maybe I would be like fucking cutting up cars if that had gone a different way. That would be pretty cool. I'm kind of mad at him for not buying the business now.
Hailing all those body shop fumes.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
so
it's
great.
So many chemicals. You'd die an early death.
Yeah, I'm already gonna die an early death, so it's fine.
Every
Just to say.
body shop owner I know, like on top of inhaling that on a near literal daily basis, just smokes like
Chain
a freight
smoke,
train.
yeah, like a fucking chimney stack.
Like easily pack and a half a day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny to
so
watch
true.
young people not get it, but like it's when you're like, you know how many times you have to bust your knuckles off of a fucking like stripped bolt before you're like, fuck, I need a cigarette. Like it, it takes a lot out of you. I needed a cigarette working on my own car. Like I could not imagine working on somebody else's, some fucking single mom's Acura Legend. Fuck no, man. It's been on the road for 27 years. Had 2 oil changes. No way, man.
Oh man, the amount of those cars that came through, like those single mom mobiles that came through like the detail shop when I was at the dealer that just had just the most disgusting shit you could imagine hidden in them.
Don't even want to
Like
think
I
about
have
it.
found literal poo more than once.
Ew.
More than once?
More than once.
That's disgusting, man. It's fucked up.
What,
I've
like
heard
a
of
human
poo
poo
stories,
or
but-
like
I don't know.
adult
What are you
poo,
gonna
or
check?
how do you describe this?
It's
Like kid poo.
literal like dry caked shit hidden usually under a seat or corner or panel
Why?
that
What the fuck?
I don't fucking know, bro. Like
What compels someone to take a shit in their
I've
car like that?
found like
I don't think it's that, man. I don't think they're
completely
trying.
gummed up with like candy and juice and
Yeah. That's
fucking
every-
Cheerios everywhere.
Oh, so their kid just took a shit in the car.
No, dude, that's every fucking Pacifica. You think you're not gonna get it and pull up the carpet and there's gonna be like 75 Skittles under there, dude? That's what every single
Literal-
one's like.
That's
Vomit
fine, but
soaked
poop
into the
come
carpet.
on.
Vomit?
Yeah.
Bro.
Imagine like how little you have to give a fuck to give somebody a car that they're gonna work on with like literal shit and vomit.
People are like that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
People
bro.
don't care.
Like, on the flip side,
Understandable.
like because we used to clean everything that got traded in, and like the stuff people would leave behind, sometimes just wild.
Like
I
what?
have found multiple $50 and $100 bills, Ray-Bans. Found a Gucci hat once.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Just
That's
shit
pretty good.
people would like. That's all free for the taking.
Who gets it? Do you
guess-
guys like fight over it or whoever
But
finders keepers?
And in the car is it's your prize.
Is it one person working on the car?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, so easy. It's whoever finds it, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's your car, it's your car. It's the way it works. Fuck, man. You know, I see these videos on YouTube, and I think they've been really popular of like guys detailing like single mom cars and just the disgusting state that they're left in. And I'm
They're
just
all
like,
awful. They're horrid.
these are the kind of women who
Maybe-
have a baby on
Any-
board sticker.
Anytime there was like a beige van with beige interior,
Ooh, that's
That
the
got checked
dream
in
spec.
like you just knew as soon as you saw it on the list, you're like, fuck, I don't
I don't want it.
like those are the ones where you'd actively try and get someone else to take it.
Those are road rage mobiles for sure. 100% they are. That's the lady. That's what was following you. It was definitely a beige Kia Sedona back in the day. It has to be. Beige is the most. I want to We'll wrap it around so that we can get back to this. Beige is the most road rage color, hands down. Beige, and
You're
silver.
kidding.
Beige and silver.
People, sweethearts.
You're out of your mind. This is the guy shopping for a beige 540i. That's what it is.
On the highway, like
What's that?
they're never in the same lane for more than 3 or 4 seconds.
No. Beige cars are like the ones. I think beige people invented swimming like through traffic, pretty much. Like the kids they picked it up from watching that beige like Kia Soul. Has to be. There's no question.
I love a beige car.
Oh, you're out of your
Now that I'm
mind.
old.
Why? What about Is it because your eyes are yellowing and it looks like what you see in the rest of the world? Like I don't understand. Like what? Like no, Nick looked at me like I was crazy. No, that's true. When you get older,
You know what? I'll give it to. I'll give you like the gold 540i was not bad. I'll give you that one.
I think you're out
Like
of your mind.
nice gold Camry, no, that does nothing
No,
for you. Or
that's a
Lexus?
demon. That's a demon
No.
creature.
No.
Yeah, those
Bro,
are.
you're not allowed to buy. You're not allowed to buy a gold Lexus until you retire. That's like because you're Chinese, so you're allowed. So when
What
you
if like a
retire,
gold LC 500?
But it's not
no,
gold.
No. Like, what
no.
if I would get in gold.
See, you're playing it up. It's not gold. It's beige. Those are two
Okay,
very
beige.
different colors.
Beige. I think it looks sick in beige. Sports
Champagne.
cars in that champagne,
champagne,
beige
you're right.
color, amazing.
No, what are you talking about? This is the craziest old man opinion.
Bro.
Why would you want a beige or champagne car ever? Like you just
Right.
don't like. It's not even that you don't like color, because I would respect you more if you bought a white one. Like if a like you know how Nick you have to play the Supra lottery with your color, and you're like, all right, I'll take white. Like white is like at least like an absence of color. Beige is a very specific, like, I'm old and I've given up color. Like that's why people buy beige cars is because those depreciate the most. That's the only reason that they buy them, because nobody wants that shit except you.
I think beige would be sick on the Supra, especially on the A90.
I'm living in a
No?
fucking horrible nightmare.
No,
It looks great.
that's
in
more
it.
silver with like a
They literally
gold.
call this champagne.
Okay, so you want an off silver is what it sounds like, because you haven't seen
Yeah,
true champagne. then.
colors.
And I don't think that looks good either. I think that's like all the colors you could have had, and that's the one you ended up on.
It's
Like-
unique.
Like when I think beige or champagne, I think like this.
I think like the
Like this
the
is
old
pure
Lexus.
old man
Yes,
car.
that's
Ooh,
exactly
bro,
what I was.
that
That's
is
disgusting.
Dripping in
Dripping in what?
And you open
swag.
the door and it's got tan seats and the wood grain.
Ugh.
no,
God,
this one,
I'm
this
gonna puke.
this specific car probably had like plush leather seats, probably in gray.
That's fine, but like
Oh,
you can have
yeah.
plush
Definitely
leather
has
seats.
beige seats, and I know it has beige seats because I'm pretty sure you could only option them in that color with beige seats.
Dude, no.
Oh my god. My brother's grandma actually had
This-
two
this-
Camrys in this identical color.
Did you just say your brother's grandma?
Yeah, my brother's grandma.
What did you mean your grandma?
Your
Oh, my
grandma.
brother's grandma. He's my half brother.
Oh,
He's got his
fucking
own
lead with that.
grandma.
That's
Okay.
But yeah, she crashed one and she replaced it with another one in the same fucking color. I'm
the
thinking,
same color and everything.
why this
God bless her
color?
heart.
But I was like 10 years old then. Now that I'm older, I can totally understand why.
No, you're out of your mind. I'm sorry, no. That's craziness. If it was
There yet.
no,
I like that
you're older.
juxtaposition though, like an old
Of
man
what?
car color with a sports car.
I-
like it looks
Okay.
good.
I see what you're saying. I just disagree on a fundamental level. I just don't like it. I don't know what it
Champagne
is.
Colored GT3 RS.
No, what? You
I
could
don't-
have.
I don't think they do make that.
Oh, good. They made it
Ooh.
illegal. Optimal. You could get a base 911 in
I mean, you
Champagne. I
could
know.
probably pay to sample it. So
Yeah,
if you want to
PTS.
pay an extra
Look
like
at
20
this.
grand for your
Essentially the same color, just different body style.
No, that's
Mm.
different.
I
Oh. I
No,
tried
this
the shit
is.
out of that.
I'm not mad at this because this leans much more gray than the other stuff that we're talking about. It's a
Yeah,
very
like that's
specific color.
not that's not like a champagne or old man beige.
No, this is like almost leaning into like a khaki sort of color. It's very different.
I don't know, it looks pretty similar.
Okay, you also have to remember that this is heavily contrasted by a ton of carbon fiber. We're talking about land yachts that are like piss champagne color, and you're like, this is sick, bro. That's what
There you
is
go,
coming
bro.
across right now.
GT3
Jewish
touring in that color,
Ferrari.
amazing.
What is this? What is this Ferrari?
I think that's a 612 Scaglietti.
No.
I don't know what the actual color is. I just called it Jewish Racing Gold.
Jewish Racing Gold. This is
I like that.
No, this is like parked at a country club. Never done over the speed limit type
100%.
car.
This
Yeah.
car only drives to golf and back.
You know what? I will say in Aaron's defense, which is rare for me to say on the topic of champagne, at least the car wasn't driven heavy. It's probably been driven it's never been stressed. But I don't even know if that's necessarily good for cars in the long
Never
term.
seen more than 3,500 RPM.
No, 100%.
But
Well,
it's definitely
you know what?
been like bumped in the parking lot.
Oh,
Like fucked
definitely.
up somehow.
You can get your beige
Camry
540
corner is literally a thing.
Yeah, the Camry dent. I love the Camry dent as a concept.
If you like, I'm serious in that if you Google Camry corner, like it's literally a thing.
Yeah,
There's
it's well
like whole
documented.
subreddits, discussions. Exactly. It's very well documented.
It's very
Camry
strange.
dent?
The Camry
Yeah.
corner.
What is
So
that?
it's if you go to Brampton, you'll notice it immediately. But it's like every Camry has a dent in the corners of the back bumper from
Yeah.
hitting something or being hit.
I've seen this.
Yeah, see? You know exactly now. You've seen it.
Yeah.
These are road rage mobiles. The Camrys, the like old the more old
Oh,
man the
yeah.
color, the more road rage. 100%.
Specifically, like that like 2007 to 2010 era Camry.
Oh, I was thinking a little older than that, like 2003 to 2005-ish, whatever that era is. Those
Like
are
if you ever see one of these, watch the fuck out.
Oh, no, you're right.
Or
You're right.
used?
2007. No, you're going way too. Aaron's looking at a 90s Camry. No, 90s Camry. It depends who's
It's
driving.
not
If it's a
90s,
young
bro. I
guy,
feel like an early 2000s. Isn't
no, that's
it?
not. It ends in like 2001, I think, for that
That's
model.
like late 90s to like 01, 02 ish.
But if you if you see a young person driving like a 90s into really early 2000s Camry, that's a responsible person. If you see an older person driving a 90s to a 2000 early 2000s Camry, watch the fuck out. That's a demon in the night. Okay, you don't want to fuck with that guy or girl.
Every single one of these like 2007 era Camrys, they're all owned by Beck Taxis in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How do we feel about the Camry TRD?
I think it's stupid.
Stupid. It's for people who. It's a badge or car for people.
No, you don't think it looks good?
It's for people whose wives have them whipped and they can't buy what they really want.
It's definitely a cope car. There's a lot of cope cars out
It
there.
is.
There's
Bro, I
like
saw a guy driving one of these that had the TRD exhaust. Sounded pretty good.
I mean, it was probably just a naturally aspirated V6, so it can sound
They
fine.
come with
but
the TRD exhaust from like the TRD trim comes with that exhaust, but
Yeah.
no,
it's not.
It's a cope car.
It's a cope. There's a lot of cope cars out there, right? But like the Sentra R now. I know they used to be like something, but like now the Sentra R, that's a cope car.
You wouldn't drive this?
No,
No?
because my brother has an XSE. Fine, it's a fine
I would
car.
literally rather just have an XSE. Like there's
Yeah.
literally like
Really?
the TRD stuff is just like a sticker and trim package. I would rather
Yeah,
have
and the
something
wing.
more
Look at that wing,
luxurious and
though.
be more comfortable in the car.
If you have a wing on a Camry and you have the TRD badge on a Camry, get your head checked. Like you pay.
cares?
How much
How
is
much
it
are
on a
these?
premium? I think
Those
it's
are
like
like
3 or
look this
4
up.
more.
$8,000.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Okay.
Like the XSE is already
They're
sort of the top
50s.
trim, so it's just like you could have an XSE and have most of what you're looking at right now. It's a.
I think the XSE looks better.
Yeah, I don't like the
because
wing,
it doesn't have
so
that stupid fucking wing.
I'm fully with. I will say I think they did a good job by making the roof black, doing that whole thing with this generation Camry. Good idea. Looks good.
Oh, you can't get the TRD Camry anymore. They don't make it.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't. They only
good.
make the hybrids now.
Well, yeah, the 2025 and newer are all hybrids, which
But
is
yes,
fine
I do
for a
know
commuter.
that the TRD started at like 50 or 51.
It was a
percent.
lot of money, like for a
But
Camry.
bro, this car is gonna cost money in the future. In 10 years, this
No,
thing's
it's
gonna
not.
be
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
no.
No.
No, because there's
The
nothing.
last ice Camry. In
Who
the top
fucking
10.
cares? Like, what?
Who
It doesn't
fucking
mean
cares?
anything.
Ice, bro.
They sold it at
There's
the
gotta
same
be
time
some-
as the GR86 and the GT86 and the GR Corolla and the Supra. Like people are just gonna buy those instead.
Gotta be
Why
some
would-
enthusiasts.
There's no Camry.
There are Camry
There are.
TRD,
Enthusiasts.
and you know what? They're at none of the meets that I'm at.
Yeah,
And I
and let's
want
keep
to
it that
stay
way. Yeah, they have their own meets, and I've seen the videos, and by God, do I not want to be there.
I
This is the
I will
thing.
say
Yeah.
I will say I don't even know where we're at for time, but potentially one of the last things we can touch on. There is one shop in Toronto that has, I believe it's a mid to late '90s Camry that makes 1,000 wheel horsepower.
Shut the
That's a
fuck up.
Camry I respect.
That's a respectable Camry.
I'm pretty sure the
But
shop is China Motorsports. They have 1,000 wheel horsepower V6
What
Camry.
motor though?
The factory, I think it's the 1MZ
that's what just
3
whatever
liter
came with it.
V6 with a big fuck off turbo, and then they mated it to an MR2 transmission because that's the only one that would fit in the front wheel drive Camry and hold the torque that the engine makes.
That's crazy that it even holds that. It's pretty interesting.
Actually, on the topic of Toyotas, I'm just going on what they're selling right now. Do you know
Fucking
if
fired.
Land Cruisers actually come around? Like,
Yeah,
are those hard
I've
to
seen a
get?
couple. Yeah,
I've
they're
seen
hard to get.
they are
Yeah.
hard to get right now, but
They will be
they're
more available.
probably be waiting like I want to say 8 months.
I've been hearing people
Shit,
aren't super happy
my
with them.
coworker went to Toyota to look at some cars, and he said that the salesperson told him the Forerunners is a 2-year wait list.
Forerunners.
Yeah.
True.
They just switched to the new model, so yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah, it's
2 years. Is that what your dad's quoting people?
yeah, Forerunners a few years. RAV4 Prime I think is 2 to 3.
Yep. Yeah, you
Or-
can't.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So this
Sienna is like a year.
Mm-hmm.
Prius Prime I think is like 2-ish years.
Are they just limiting production, or they just can't keep up? Like, they've got to be doing this on purpose.
They can't keep up with the sales because I mean part of the issue is like Canada sort of gets gimped for allocations. Most allocations go to the States, and Canada just kind of gets the leftovers.
Yeah.
Mm,
So because the States is just a much bigger market.
that's fascinating.
So we get decidedly less cars allocated every year, which for Toyota matters because they only make as many cars as they sell. They're not like Ford or GM where they'll just keep rolling shit off the production line
And then stuff sits on the lot and gets cheap or loses
Yeah.
a little.
So no Forerunners, Land Cruisers on the lot then, eh?
No.
No, the
way.
only way you'd get one without waiting is if you were already in line for one and somebody ahead of you, like theirs came in and they decided not to take it.
Oh shit.
And even
Wow.
then, you'd not be allowed to like pick the color and all that stuff. Like the standard
you're
Toyota
just
is
getting whatever that allocation is.
the main
That
thing that drove me
sucks.
away from ordering a GR86. It's crazy. I can't pick the color of the brand new car I'm ordering. That's crazy.
Car's too big for me though. Like, I
Yeah,
have
it's-
no
yeah.
reason to get one.
It's also very expensive. Like you were like, 40 grand. This is like an $80,000 car. No, like
The
This thing
the
starts at
Forerunner?
56.
not the Forerunner. Sorry, the Land Cruiser.
Oh, I was talking about
No,
the Forerunner. Land Cruiser's way
starts
too
at,
much.
like, 80.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Forerunner, I think, even starts at like 60.
yeah. It's not it's
Yeah,
not
just
in the
about.
range you gave us a couple weeks ago,
No.
bro. Get the 540i. Come on, let's do our
the-
first like
yeah,
Curbrash
Forerunner's
video. We could do it.
Yeah, so I guess it's true. I can't believe. Well, I guess I can. Yeah, the demand on these are super high.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. I mean, like, Toyota is Toyota, and they've got it down to a science too.
Starts at 73.
73, fuck, that might as well be 80 after tax.
Yeah. So your only options are 73 or 73, 82, or 90,
Fuck, eh?
depending on what trim you go for and what
Yeah.
package.
I'm sure you'll get it sooner if you opt for the higher trim model too. Probably cut down
Yeah,
that wait
You can
time.
get, like, if you want like a Tacoma, those come in pretty regularly.
Yeah,
How about the GR Corollas? Where are those at?
they're
8
on
months.
the floor.
They're on the
Yeah,
floor
like there's
now.
some
They're
that are just
sitting.
sitting
Yeah, they're
in stock right now. Yeah, like they're not really
No.
a hot
Yeah.
seller anymore.
No, nobody.
Waiting
Listen.
for an order, it's going to be 6 to 8 months.
Just get you, dude. Okay, you can go buy one for 40. We've talked about this. Anyway, before Aaron gets any more crazy ideas, I think we should end it here because we're running a little long. But I don't know what's gonna happen next time. But hopefully
Next
you
time,
enjoyed it.
like fucking wood interior.
Wood into yeah. Next time we're gonna talk about the wood trim that Aaron wants to have in his next BMW with the champagne exterior.
Oh, I would love a wood trim.
I know you would.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys.